Hi guys. Today I'm going to be going over kind of the little things about a compressor and what you can use them for in your DAW system. Now, I have a audio project open on my computer already and have a track selected and everything and recorded, and I put in a compressor insert. And what that does is it takes the sound, and this graph right here represents the sound in decibels, and there's different ratios. Sorry about that. There's different ratios to how much you can have this line bend or this dot. I won't be getting into that, but right now what you need to know is that this is representing your decibels of this track of whatever sound you have here. So I'm going to go over each of these things just a little bit so that you can get a better understanding of what they are and what they do and how you can use them. So to start off, we're going to start off with the ratio. Basically, what the ratio is doing is it kind of tells you what your dynamic range is going to be once you get to your threshold. And your threshold is this dot right here. As you can see, if I turn up and down the threshold, that dot moves up and down. Threshold is the dot limit that you kind of want to be adjusting your ratio at. So when I put this ratio on up or down, it moves this line over here. And with a compressor, when you play the sound, this dot represents your decibels, or your audio that you're playing. You're pretty much taking that dot, and instead of it going up just by its own, like that, it would be going up if it's 1 to 1, because it's just x equals y, so it'd just be going up in a diagonal line like that. With this ratio, and with your threshold, you get to control at what point you want the threshold, or you want the audio to kind of just stop going and getting louder, or to getting more amplitude like that. So with this ratio, it bends it at whatever you put your threshold at. So I can put it way down here and get really quiet, and then put the ratio super high so that it cuts it off right there, and it'll only go up just a little tiny bit. And that makes it more of a limiter, like you talked about. It just cuts it off. With a compressor, you can put it on less, and you can also apply what we call a knee. Now the knee is a feature that allows you to put that kind of bend and more of that shape a curve into it. So if you turn these up more, you can see it more prevalently. If I have the knee all the way down, it's going to be an angle like that through the dot. But what the knee does is it puts the angle in, and it allows the sound to not be such a sudden change with such a sharp angle like that. It gives it a chance to kind of just follow the curve of the natural shape of the algorithm that you have in there. So another thing we have here is attack, and what attack does is, you're not going to be able to really see anything on here, but when I have my attack, it's more, I recorded a guitar attack, a guitar recording, so I couldn't really hear a lot of difference when I was trying to adjust the attack and release. But on drums, you'll find this a lot. You have your attack and release, and the attack, so when you increase the attack, it swells in the sound slower, as opposed to a sharp hit on a drum. You'll hear it kind of come in slowly instead of jump up like that, like kind of a right angle audio signal. And if I had a drum track on here, I could show it better, but you get the idea. It affects that initial hit of the note. And release is the opposite kind of. It affects the trailing off of just the release of the sound. And with drums, you get that one hit, and it's a shorter length of time for that audio that you have. So when you raise and lower the release, it'll if you increase the release, it'll make the sound trail off, and that affects it by making the note last longer. And if you decrease the release down to like 0 or a short amount of time, then it'll make the note trail it'll cut off the note pretty quickly. And then here you have your gain, input gain. It just allows you to raise and lower the decibel. Say if you want this kind of graph, but you don't really want it to be this low here, but you want it to be the X justification, you want it to be right there. You turn up this gain and it just raises the Y values up higher, and it gives you a louder decibel level up and down. So that's the basics of a compressor and the ratio, threshold, knee, gain, release, and tachymeter release. So thanks everyone. That's it. Thank you.